All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today, it's April 1st, 2024, Missile Monday, and I have this article from Eurasian Times, and it says S-400s cannot save India. Ex-Pakistan general, father of nuke weapon, warns of mayhem. How can Delhi respond? So I'm just gonna, go into this article a little bit, bring out a few scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And, I'm not gonna make this one too long. And it says, Slakia. It says, now that Pakistan has enunciated its India-centric nuclear weapons policy, India must change its stance and reject the idealistic and strategically inconsequential no first use and prepare its armory with miniature nuclear warheads. Says the little boy was the name of the first nuclear weapon to be dropped over Hiroshima on August 6, 1945 by the USAF B-29 bomber named Enola Gay, flown by Major Paul Tibet. And just real quick, man, out of all the names they could have picked, for those two bombs that were dropped, man, fat man, little boy, Esau Edom, he's a sick man. He is. And I could be bugging, but then again, I could not be, just off the names of those two nukes, because he could have named them anything, man. So that kind of says something. But I'm going to continue. And it says, Enola Gay was the name of Paul Tibet's mother. Little boy weighed 9,700 kilograms and had a yield of less than 20,000 kilotons. The world moved on, and the biggest nuke, the Tsar Bomba, the Russian megaton yield bomb, then became a reality. One of the requirements of nukes remains the delivery platform. ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and MRBMs, medium-range ballistic missiles, and formidable and reliable delivery platforms, and have different names in different nations. Says the revolutionary development of delivery vehicles has been the ability to carry multiple warheads. In strategic parlance, the term used for such capability is the Multiple Independently Targetable Reentry Vehicle, MIRV. MIRV ballistic missiles, Slakia Agni 5 enhances a nation's capability manifold, Slakia. It says it enables It enables simultaneous attacks on more than one target, with one ICBM carrying 10 warheads. The actual number of warheads carried by various ICBMs remains classified. However, a reasonable guess places most ICBMs capable of carrying at least 6 warheads. Multiple warheads require launch vehicles to be able to lift off with large payloads. For instance, 6 little boys would weigh nearly 58,000 kilotons. Such liftoff capability does not exist in all nations. Hence, nuclear scientists have been trying to miniaturize the nukes, reducing their weight without compromising their yield. Without compromising on yield. Says most nuclear weapon states, including India must have attained some success in this field. If the weight of a 20 kiloton yield bomb is reduced to a mere 1,000 kilograms, an ICBM capable of lifting a 6,000 kilogram payload can easily be launched with 6 such bombs. Slovakia. The factual data on miniaturization remains a closely guarded secret by all nations. Since India continues to bury itself under the weight of its utterly flawed and outdated nuclear doctrine, the core problem of countenance, or Slovakia continuance, with the Cold War era policy espoused by nuclear powers, which not only used nukes as weapons, but also carried out thousands of tests, including megaton weapons. Hence, to adapt to their doctrinal philosophy in itself was and is a distributing and strategically insane option. The world and India continue to entwine themselves in the Cold War era terminology, viz. Flexible response, massive retaliation, and so on. Iran is virtually at the doorstep of going nuclear, while U.S. nuclear weapons are deployed in South Korea. The Global Times, the Chinese Communist Party's mouthpiece, has unequivocally enunciated that China's no first use NFU policy of nukes is not acceptable, is not applicable against nations that occupy Chinese territory illegally. India is one of those countries, as per Chinese claims. Pakistan continues to produce nuclear warheads and currently holds more warheads than India, with fairly matching launch capabilities. The Pak nuclear program has a different dimension in comparison to other nuclear nations, since Pak nuclear weapons have only one target, India. So, the rest is just pretty much going into, as you can see the headlines, the developments, the policies, and, so on and so forth. But as you can see, man, that's the time that we're in, man. We're in the time of war. And that's what you're going to hear about, man. These different nations that are going to be at war with each other and are currently at war with each other, man. Because, China and India, they pretty much have a beef. North Korea and South Korea, the Ukraine and Russia. And, those small hats and, those Ishmaelites over there in the land, there's just wars, man. And all of these wars are going to build up to, World War III, which is going to be the war to end all wars, man. So I'm going to start in the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And yeah, man, that's the things that we're hearing about, man. Wars and rumors of wars, man. These different nations that are at war with each other, man. Because again, like I said, it's all a build up to World War III, which is ultimately gonna be between the United States and Russia. Babylon the Great versus the bear, and the bear is going to wipe out America, But how is that going to be accomplished? By way of these nuclear weapons, man. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16, and it says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy." And yeah, man, The Smith being, these scientists, these nuclear scientists, again, one famous name that can constantly be mentioned, Julius Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, would be a Smith, because, these scientists now are developing these weapons, man, because what does a blacksmith do? They create weapons of war. And what are these scientists doing? They're creating weapons of war, man. Nuclear missiles that are, that have the capability to wipe out entire countries, man. So that's how America is going to be destroyed. And that's how this current war is going to be fought, with nuclear missiles. So I'm going to get the book of Isaiah, chapter 3. Slakia, not chapter 3. No, Slakia, wrong chapter. That's the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 5. And it says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel, and it's like it with burning and fuel of fire." So yeah, man, as we know, traditional wars were fought with hand-to-hand combat, man. Man holding, swords, shields, spears, bow and arrows, This war is going to be fought with nuclear missiles, man. That's what that burning of fuel of fire is, man. These nations shooting missiles at each other, That's how this war is going to be fought, So I'm going to get the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 1. And it says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." And yeah, man, the day of the Lord is coming, man. World War III is coming. It's at the door, But pretty much we know there's still one major prophecy that has to come to pass before, this war can take place. That prophecy being, the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID micro chip, That prophecy has to come to pass before this destruction can come, So I'm going to end it on this. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. And it says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." And yeah, that's what these other nations are doing, man. Because at one point, during the early or the mid to late 40s, America was the only nation that possessed, nuclear weapons. But, as, time progressed, these other nations began to, develop their own nuclear weapons, man. So this is pretty much what these other nations are saying, man. They have nuclear weapons as well. And, they won't hesitate to use them. Slovakia, so, that's just the time that we're in, man. A time of war. And things are, still heating up. Things are still building up to, World War III. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the artists of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.